Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to our first live video. Isn't this exciting?
It's so exciting.
It's so fun. We're so glad that you've chosen to join us today, aren't we, babe?
We are. I'm so glad you guys are here.
So excited. Well, we want to encourage you to jump in as we're here. We're going to give it a couple minutes so that people can join onto our live video. Christy Halverson says, hey guys. Hi, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
So we're going to give everyone a moment to join. I don't know if you caught all of that countdown video, but I love it. Just a fun video about how to wash your hands properly in the midst of the pandemic, right?
I like the one that says dab while you're coughing so that you look cool and you're being
You do look cool and you're safe, right? Hey, if you're with us, go ahead and comment so we can see you, right? Hi, Colin. We have Allie. Oh, how exciting.
It's fun to see you guys on here, so make sure you comment and let us know that you're here.
Yeah. Hey, we found out earlier, so some of you are probably more tech savvy than us, right? So we found out, you already know this probably, but we found out you have to have a YouTube account if you want to comment on the video. So we want to hear from you. So if you need to, we're just going to give it a minute. Like as we talk, you can go and make your YouTube account and then join us again, and we'll still be here.
Yeah. It's going to be super important that you're able to, not only for today, but in the future, that you're able to comment on our videos. So make sure that you do that really quick. I know I had to do it for my account, and it was like super simple, and I just rejoined the video. So if you want to be a part of winning prizes and being a part of what we're doing here, not only today, but in the weeks coming and days coming, you want to make sure that you comment. So go take a second and create an account. We got Alyssa here, and Gabe, and Anna.
Yep. So hey, let's try out our comments. So if you need to go make your account, do that. But let's try out our comments with this, okay? We have a would you rather for you, all right? And you need to comment your answer. So should I do it, or do you want to do it?
You do it.
Me do it? Okay, so here it is. Would you rather narrate everything you see aloud forever, okay? So you have to narrate everything that you see throughout your day for the rest of your life out loud, all right? Which, let's face it, is a little nerve-wracking, right? Because everyone's going to hear you. But anyway,
everybody would be talking all the time. There would be no silence.
It's true. Would you rather narrate everything you see aloud forever, or spell out words when you speak instead of being able to say complete words? So for the rest of your life, you have to not say complete words, but you have to SAYEACHWORDTHA. Okay? So what we got? Like, what would you rather do? Narrate everything that you see aloud forever, or spell out words when you speak instead of being able to say complete words? So let's get your comments. Babe, let's start with you as we're waiting for comments. What would you rather do?
I probably would narrate everything I saw, only because, for two reasons. One, I think that it would be just interesting for everybody. I mean, you would just be talking all the time, but it would be really hard to have a conversation with someone as you were spelling everything out. So you have to pay attention. I mean, that would eliminate the whole multitasking while having a conversation. Or we could just revert to texting conversation. I would just type everything I said when I did that. But I would narrate everything I saw.
Well, it looks like you guys are agreeing. So Alyssa says, you would rather narrate everything.
For sure.
Gabe would rather narrate everything. Josiah, I'm so excited that you're here. You haven't said an answer yet, but you said hi, which is awesome. Abigail, you would rather spell out words? Are you serious?
Josiah says that too.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I think that I would want to narrate everything out loud only because I don't want to spell everything, right?
I could not use any big words. I would have really simple language. Or just be really good at spelling.
No one's trying any loopholes yet, right? Okay, no, that's good. So no loopholes, you either narrate for the rest of your life, or you spell out words for the rest of your life and you can't use complete words. So on the one hand, though, you would be very impressive if you could spell everything, right? On the other hand, you would look absolutely ridiculous. So it's kind of hard. That's a toss-up, right? Colin would rather narrate everything. That's super exciting. I love Would You Rathers. It took me a little bit to find the right one, but that's the one we went with today. So if you're just joining us, make sure that you tell us, like, would you rather narrate everything you see aloud forever or have to spell out words instead of using complete words all the time, which would be awful. We are, as we said, we're super excited that you guys are with us. We're super excited that you're here. We miss you guys. As you're commenting, like, I wish that we could be doing this in person.
Yeah.
That would be so much better. I think you know both of us. Like, my name's Briggs, right? This is my wife. Say hi.
Hey.
So we're excited to just do this together, to be with you guys several times a week.
Yeah.
I do want to take a chance, so this will be important, especially later in the week. We have a couple other leaders that are joining us. So Mrs. Christy Halverson, say hi, Christy. You've said hi already a couple of times. But Christy is our middle school girls group leader, and we'll tell you a bit more about how that's going to work later in the week. And we'll tell you about that later in today's video. And then Colin, say hi, Colin. Colin is helping me with the middle school boys. So if you're a middle school boy, you're going to be in a group with myself and Colin. And then if you're a middle school girl, you'll be in a group with Mrs. Halverson later in the week, if you choose to join us. And then high school group is going to be Bethany and I, just as we've normally done in our home. So other thing to note is normally we're going to be on our Lake Mead Students channel. But we had some technical difficulties, and so we're running it off of the school's channel right now. But the rest of the week, we're going to be on the Lake Mead Students channel. So who's ready for spring break?
I am.
Are you ready for spring break?
I mean, it's kind of been like spring break,
Yeah.
except we can't go anywhere.
Who's ready to, like, you're ready to not have, like, time off? You just want to get back into it. Like, who's ready to go back to school? Give me a yes or a no. Like, who says, I'm ready to get back into things, get into sports, get into classes, and who's like, actually, I'm kind of good. Like, I'm good as is. Anyone?
Let us know in your comments. Comment in it.
No.
What about you?
I think that I'm ready. Like, spring break sounds great, but I'm actually just ready to get back to work. Taryn misses us too. Oh no, she's not talking to us. That's awkward. She's talking to Mrs. Harris. Oh well.
David does. He's ready to go back to school.
I'm so ready. I'm just ready to get back into things, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I've had a lot of trouble getting up in the morning. Like, it's just the worst. I set my alarm and then nothing happens. I just lay there. So how's your quarantine going? Is everyone enjoying it? We're all in different places in our homes. Some of us maybe have traveled a little bit, and that's kind of coming to an end now. We can't do that as much. But we're all quarantined. Have you ever wondered, I found this video, have you ever wondered what animals are doing in different cities? I don't know if you've seen this, but I want to show you a video of there's this town, it's a Welsh town, and these wild goats, because everyone is quarantined, they're just taking over, which I think is hilarious. So check this out. I think that is so funny. Can you imagine walking outside and there's just like wild goats everywhere? You walk outside, you're just trying to take care of your bushes, and your bushes are being eaten by wild goats.
So much for gardening, or haven't tried to grow anything.
I think that is so funny. I don't know if you have found any videos like that, but there's this other one that I found, which I think is nearly as funny.
Yes.
Which is.
I think this one's funnier.
You think this is funnier?
I do. It's just crazier.
It's true. It's crazy. So, some background on this one. So, in Thailand, monkeys rely off of tourists for food. So they just will swarm people and people will give them food. Now there's not enough people around, so the monkeys are just going crazy, like Planet of the Apes style. So look at this and let's see if you find it as funny as I do.
โอ้ยรถยังต้องจอดให้อ่ะเอ๊ะโอ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Isn't that crazy?
So insane. I just love like there's like that rush of like one monkey like found something and then every other monkey got it.
I'm just glad that there are no humans
insane.
around, because that would be.
Gosh.
I could not stand that. I would have been like, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. Of course, I don't know why we decided to go to Thailand in the middle of a quarantine. Anyway, in that scenario. Gosh, I think that's so funny. So I hope you found those funny. Hey, if you want to send us things you find that you think are funny that are related to this whole quarantine thing, we would love to see those and maybe even show them in another video.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. So let's get on to the details of the prize we promised. So you're going to be entered into a drawing for a $15 Starbucks gift card. But here's how it works. You have to answer a question. So go ahead and answer this question in a comment, okay? So here's your question. What's one thing that you have done with your quarantine time that you've really enjoyed? So not like, no, I guess if you really enjoyed schoolwork, you can say that. But let's say you have learned to play the violin, which is extremely impressive if you had not done so before. But something that you've found that you really love to do. So if you comment your answer, be sure to put your name and your grade on that answer.
Yeah.
We'll enter you into the drawing for the $15 gift card. We'll announce the winner on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow. All right. So comment now, like, what is that for you? What is one thing you've done with your quarantine time that you really enjoyed? I have played Lego Star Wars more than I am, more than I want to admit. Lego Star Wars is so fun. And Lego Harry Potter is unfortunately not available on the iPad or iPhone anymore. So that's sad. Babe, what about you?
Well, we started something that I've enjoyed that we've done together, which is we started watching old episodes of The Amazing Race. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show or seen that. It's like not been on for a couple years, but I like super love that show and watched it for a while, and so we've kind of binge watched an episode or season, I mean, and so that's really fun. I would love to do that one time.
Yeah.
Travel the world.
Yeah, that would be fun. Too bad it's over now.
I know.
Josiah, you said gymnastics, which is so cool. You'll have to tell me more later on what all you're doing. Bailey, you're playing horse with your family, which I do know is a basketball game.
Thanks for the clarification.
We used to play that with my family. Taryn watched Dance Moms and stretched to get my middle splits.
Nice.
Okay. Don't know what that means, but I'm really glad that you enjoyed that.
I know what that means. Alyssa Kane.
Oh, Alyssa painted? Alyssa, can you send us a picture of your painting? Yeah. If you're proud of it. If you're not, then you probably won't want to send it anyway. But
you should
that's so exciting. Abigail, you've really enjoyed organizing basically every.
Oh,
I love that. Every part of your house. I do like organizing.
Mm-hmm.
You probably more so.
It's like a really great pastime.
Yeah.
Super satisfying when it's like done.
Yeah, that's true. So, hey, keep going. Like, I'll leave that up for a minute.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you've done with your quarantine time that you have really, really, really enjoyed?
And remember, this gets you entered into the drawing today for the $50 Starbucks card. So if you have not commented, make sure you do before this video is over, and we'll enter your name in the drawing and pull out a winner and announce that tomorrow. So
yeah, and we'll remind you of that here in a minute again, once we're getting closer to the end. So I want to explain to you kind of what our hope is in these videos, and I'm going to go through here in a minute. kind of the schedule of like what we have available online in the coming weeks. And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really fun, especially if we're all engaging and just having community together through it all. But we're calling it Pandemics, Pains, and Principles of Paul. Pandemics, Pains, and Principles of Paul. So the heart behind that is understanding that we're all in the middle of this pandemic, right? We're all in the middle of a pandemic. We're all having these pains of being separated from one another, being separated from school, from sports, from theater, from whatever it might be for you. And we're all experiencing this together. And if you watched our chapel like 2 weeks ago, we did a short little chapel video online. We talked about the Apostle Paul briefly and pulled just a thought out of an experience in his life. And so we're just going to do that together. We're going to kind of start at the beginning of Paul's life, and we're going to walk through just short little talks on different experiences in Paul's life. And so that's our heart in what we're doing. We want to walk through Paul's life. Our goal is to seek to learn from the Lord's work in Paul's life so that we can walk well with Christ now in this season. And so we're not going to spend any significant time on that today because I want to share with you some more details about our weeks coming up. But I do want to share one thing with you so that you have a little bit of backstory on Paul before we jump in the coming videos. But Paul was an early religious leader, probably the most famous Christian in all of history. But as many know, and if you don't know, he actually started out hating Christianity, hating Jesus, hating those that followed Jesus, and he was persecuting them. So I want to read to you, it's just like 2 short verses in Acts 7. So if you want to pull out a Bible, you can. We're going to just see these 2 verses at the end of chapter 7 in the book of Acts. And so if you don't know, there's a guy named Stephen, and he's a follower of Jesus. He gets put on trial for his faith. He gives this big sermon about how Jesus is the Messiah, and he's fulfilled the prophecies in the Old Testament that he would be the Messiah. And then Stephen actually gets stoned to death for following Jesus. And there's this little passage in verse 57 of chapter 7. It says this. It says, they cried out with a loud voice. All the religious leaders were standing there with Stephen. They cried out with a loud voice, stopped their ears, and rushed together at him. They cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their garments, here we go, at the feet of a young man named Saul. So Stephen is the first Christian to ever be martyred, killed for his faith. And at the very end there, you see this comment that all the people who killed Stephen put all their garments down at the feet of a guy named Saul. Later, he's going to be called Paul. And what we find out is Saul did not begin his life following Jesus. He began his life killing Christians. And we read even the first verse of chapter 8. It says, and Saul approved of his execution. So we find out that Paul, or Saul, right, he hated Christians to the point where he approved of them being killed, and we'll find out later on he ends up leading the charge to go and attack and kill Christians. And so here's my thought for you, and I just want to encourage you to think about this as we're moving into the coming weeks, and as we move into later this week even. What's going on in your life that shouldn't be? Now, with Paul, he found himself in a situation at the beginning of his life where he should not have been in that situation, right? He should not have been killing Christians or approving of the killing of Christians, right? So he was wrong, right? And so some of us, there are things in our lives where we know we're wrong. And then on the flip side, there are things in our lives that we know shouldn't be happening, but it's not our fault, right? And so I want to encourage you, just ponder that this week as we move into our next session together later this week. What is it in your life that is in the way of you following after Christ, or is encouraging you to be challenged in your walk with Christ? It could be your fault, or it could be something that you're just walking through that's difficult. Because as we see with Paul, in this case, it was his own fault. But later on, we're going to see other things that weren't his fault, that he had to deal with all the same. So that's it this week. something for you to think about as we get started together looking at the life of Paul. And you see that's where Paul's life starts out, a persecutor of Christians. So let me show you as we finish up today. We got a couple minutes left. I want to show you kind of the schedule of stuff that we have for you each week. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So here it is. And I had to cover up my wife a little bit to show you this graphic. So every day we're going to have something that you can join in with us online on if you want to. So today you can see it's a live stream, and that's happening right now. And it's at 4 p.m. We're going to be together. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have community. We're going to get in God's Word for a few moments. And you're going to have some chances to win prizes. It's going to be a good time. And that's 4 to 4:30 every Sunday. So don't miss it. It's starting today, and it's going to go as long as we need it to go, right, to get through this together. Mondays, live stream will always be posted. Our link will be posted on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. So for Lake Mead students.
For Instagram, it'll be loaded on the bio. So we'll post a link or a post of a picture or whatever, and then just check the our page in the bio, and that link will be on there since we can't get a clickable link in the post.
Yeah. So check that out every Sunday, 4 p.m. Now Mondays is just kind of a time for you to be close to the Lord. We're not doing necessarily anything together as a group. However, if we want to hang out through different means, we can. But we want to encourage you to check out what's called the Dwell app and Spotify. So Dwell app is an audio Bible, and it's really cool. It's got some great voices, some great music that you can have playing behind the readings. Mm-hmm. Now, normally it costs money, but if you DM us on Instagram or Facebook, we can send you a link so that you can get a free 60-day subscription to use that. And that will give you access to the whole Bible, audio Bible, and it's an app you can download on your phone. The other thing we want to encourage you to do on Mondays is to check out our LM Worship playlist on Spotify. And if you just want to have some music, some worship music playing in the background as you're doing your day, you can do that. So check that out on Mondays. On Tuesdays, it's called Riddle Me This. So this is super fun. Every time that you join us in an experience online, you're going to get entered into a weekly drawing for another prize. So today we're having a special drawing, right? We told you that earlier, for a $15 gift card to Starbucks. But every week we're going to do that. So this week, for coming here today and joining us today and commenting, you'll get one entry into the drawing for next week. If you join us in our live streams later in the week, you'll get another entry. However, but on Tuesday, you have Riddle Me This. So every Tuesday at 9 a.m., we're going to post like a riddle or a brain teaser on Instagram and Facebook. The first student, 6th through 12th grade, who can DM us the correct answer, you'll get an additional entry into the drawing for that week. So hopefully you can use your brain to get that. Don't cheat, okay? Figure it out. You can talk to other people, but don't cheat. So if you get the right answer first, you're going to get entered an additional time, an extra time above anyone else into the drawing for that week. Now, Wednesday and Thursday are the real fun times. So Wednesday is for middle school, Thursday is for high school. And here's what we're going to do both times. We're going to have a live stream like this at 4 p.m. All right, we're going to have kind of a pre-made video that will be running like a live video that you can join us. We'll all be on, commenting, hanging out, and that'll be from 4 to 4:30. On Wednesday and Thursday from 4:30 to 5, we're going to have life groups. And so the way we're going to do that on Wednesday is going to be middle school groups with Mrs. Halverson for girls. Also, Chloe Bull will be joining on that as well. And then myself and Colin, who I introduced you to earlier, they're going to be, we're all going to be leading the guys group and then the girls group. So join us at 4 o'clock for the live stream time together, and then at 4:30 you're going to jump right into a life group. Same thing on Thursday, high school. You're going to have 4 to 4:30 is your session time, and then from 4:30 to 5 you can join us for the high school life group online. Now the way we're going to do that is we're going to use Google Meets. So as long as you have your Google account, which if you're part of the school, you have that already. If you're not a part of a school, just make sure you have a Gmail account. And then every day on Wednesday and Thursday, in the description to the live video will be the links for your Google life groups. And so at the end of the video, you'll be able to just click that link. It'll take you to your life group, and you'll be joining in with your peers and your friends through that from 4:30 to 5. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how that goes and to jump into that with you guys. And then you'll see Friday, we just offer again, like get in God's Word, worship. And Saturdays is not on there, but hang out with your family, engage with them, play a fun game, get outside doing something together. And so that's our week. We're hoping that you'll join in, that you'll send us just pictures of things that you're doing, videos of things you're doing with your families. Joining in with the Riddle Me This Day on Tuesday will hopefully be super exciting for all of us. So, again, for the prizes, remember, every time you engage in one of our live experiences, so you have 2 live experiences each week, and then a life group each week. So you'll get 3 chances each week to have your name in the drawing that week. If you get the Riddle Me This, you'll get a 4th time. So if you're the first one to tell us the correct answer for that, you'll get the 4th time as well.
You want to put up the question again so people
Yes.
can...
So one more time before we're heading out here in just a couple of minutes. Here was the question, right? So here was the question, right? It's where is it? It's what's one thing you've done with your quarantine time that you really, really enjoyed? So remember, comment your name, comment your grade, and then your answer. So 6th through 12th grade students, you can enter into that for the drawing today.
This also gets them entered into the drawing for next week as well,
Yep.
right? So it's like a double entry. You get entered in for a prize today, and then also we'll keep that in there for this next week's drawing. So make sure, if you haven't, that you post on there. We'll keep track of those and add them in. But we're excited about just all the different things that we can offer and get you guys plugged in, and hopefully this would be a life-giving opportunity for you guys to engage in outside of being stuck online with school and other things. That this can be something that you can interact with us, with your peers, and most importantly, get involved in God's Word and be encouraged in that. So we're excited.
Yeah. We're excited to jump in more with you later this week. So remember, middle school, join us on Wednesday at 4. High school, join us on Thursday at 4. And then join us for the 4:30 time after your video. For life groups on Google. So don't miss that. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So remember, today we're doing it on the Lake Mead Christian Academy channel. But if you just search Lake Mead Students, subscribe to our channel, that would be an easy way to get an update on our live video. And then again, all of our live video links will be posted on our Instagram and our Facebook ahead of time so that you can click it and be ready to go. Don't miss out on life groups later this week. Don't miss out on answering this question, right? What are you doing in your quarantine time that you really love? You have a couple seconds to finish that off if you want to. I
was going to say one more thing too. If you subscribe to Instagram or Facebook, we'll post out reminders of what's happening. We'll post out like the Dwell stuff and the Spotify and the different things. So just so you remember what's going on. It's a lot of information to take in right now. So just know if you are on our Instagram, we'll be posting stuff in our stories, stuff on our page to keep you in the loop so you don't miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Check it out.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're going to let a couple announcement slides run as we're done. We won't be on here anymore, but those will be running for a couple of minutes. Check it out. It has all the details I've been telling you about. You can pause it, take a picture of it. We'll post it on social media later. But we love you guys. Go ahead and comment, say like how you're doing. Tell us like what you've loved about it. Tell us, just comment. Let us know you're still alive before we jump off of here. So again, I'm gonna run some announcement videos or announcement slides for you. And we love you guys. We will see you so soon.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye guys.